Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Oma, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, this is where I put that plug in and be like, guys, please subscribe to my channel. It's the red button that is right below this video. So please, and please, I always say something exciting can just pop up with this video or on this channel and you guys don't want to miss it. So please subscribe to my channel and let's keep growing the community. By the way, before I get into it, you know that YouTube has just recently launched something called YouTube Shorts. Well, if you haven't heard about it, there's a link in the description box where you can read all about it. So if you are a creator or you're looking to start creating content on YouTube, you may want to check this out, and it may just be something that, would make life a lot easier for you in terms of creating content on YouTube. So let's get back to what this video is about. So first, I'm going to tell you why I decided to make this video. Then I will go into what the event was about, and then I would share my own personal experience or things that resonated with me during the event. I hope that's good. Yeah, that looks good. So let's get into it. First part of it is, why am I creating this video? So when I attended the event on Sunday, I did put up a poll and I was like, oh guys, what do you want? Do you want a video or you want a blog post? And over 90% of people who voted said they wanted a video. Though I have an article which is published on Genevieve website, which you can totally check out and see all the amazing pictures and moments from the events. You can head over there. I'm going to put a link for you in the description box so you can head over there and catch up on all the details. I think it's also on Bella Niger. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's also on Bella Niger. So guys, any link that I find that has to do with the event, I'm going to put it for you in the description box so you can see how much fun that we had. What was it about? It was really about bringing women together to share their stories and learn from one another. That was what it was. It was not even a like level kind of event where everybody's trying to be all prim and proper. Now, these were very successful career women, powerful thought leaders in different industries in one space. Like, I was blown. I don't know if I've mentioned that it was put together by the editor-in-chief and the managing director of Genevieve magazine, Mrs. Betty Rabo, and it was hosted by Mrs. Toke Benson. So Mrs. Toke Benson is the senior special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on housing, and she hosted the event while Mrs. Betty Rabo was actually the person that sort of put the whole thing together in terms of it was her idea, and then Mrs. Toke Benson now hosted it, and hosted all of these amazing women that came together. So like I said, let's get into my experience. It was wow. Like, first of all, when I got the invite from Mrs. Rabo, I wasn't sure what to expect. To be honest, whatever I saw on her page was not even anything close to what I experienced. When I saw Sunday Treats and Convos, it felt like, okay, a group of her friends who came together, and there were a few young people as well. And, maybe they were just having fun. It was just an opportunity for them to let their hair down and, chit chat. But I had no idea what had happened at the event or what it was about until I attended. And I cannot exactly say what happened at the previous ones that she's had. But this one, look, when I walked into the space, I felt a little bit intimidated because I saw women who were very successful in their career, women who, you sort of look up to, women who you're like, oh my God, one day I want to be in this position. Like, in terms of building my career now as a communication specialist, imagine finding someone who's like the head of communications or head of digital banking for GT, someone who is the head of something in Coronation Bank, and OAP, someone you always see on television. It was a room packed with very successful women. So in my mind, I'm like, hey God, what's going on? And then they were passing the mic around and trying to get everybody to talk. So I'm like, wait, what exactly am I going to be sharing with these women? But you know what? By the time each and every one of them opened their mouth to talk and tell their stories, I shifted. Like, I immediately shifted from feeling intimidated in any way to really being inspired. And I gradually found my voice. Like, even when I was speaking, I was a bit shy, speaking in that room full of women. And I don't even know where I got this my shyness from that is happening to me in adulthood at all. I don't know, but I was a bit shy, and They encouraged me to speak. And I realized that I found my voice just being in a room, hearing these other women share their stories. I found my voice. And coming back home, I've sat down, I've done some reflection, I've added a few more things. That one thing is certain: if you put me in that room again, my voice is going to be a lot louder than it was before. So first of all, irrespective of my age, because there were other young people there, but we were really few. I could see like maybe 5, 7 younger people there. But irrespective of age, they allowed all of us to speak, and there was something to learn from all of us. And you could even find them trying to encourage us in one way or the other. They tried to carry us along in everything that they were doing. It was just an amazing experience that I honestly want to be able to relive, and I also want to be able to be in that kind of space again. And just looking back, I'm thinking, even with the younger ones, do we want to think about putting up an event like that, coming together to share our own experiences and the challenge that we're facing, trying to grow and trying to elevate and get to that position that some of these women have already gotten to. It's amazing to get inspired by people who have already gone before you, but it's also great to learn and share your experience with your peers. The first thing that resonated with me is how very different our journeys in life is. So each woman's journey is different. Some principles apply that are similar, but our journeys remain different. And so you're doing yourself a disservice trying to compare yourself, to another, like comparing yourself in a way that puts undue pressure on you. You're doing yourself a disservice because you do not truly understand all the factors that surrounded that person for the person got to that place where they are. Everyone has different opportunities. Everyone has been placed in a different space. What you're able to do while you are in that space that you find yourself is what defines your journey and is what gets you to where you need to be. For a very long time, I always sort of put my success in career with my financial success. So I'm looking at my bank account and I'm saying to myself, what exactly have you been able to achieve? Like, you've been working almost a decade. Like in August, it's going to be 10 years that I have been working ever since I graduated from the university. And I'm looking at my bank account and saying to myself, oh my, what exactly have you been able to achieve? Can you really consider yourself a success after 10 years? And listening to these women, I'm realizing that, look, financial success is very different from success in career. So my bank account may not exactly be reading what I want it to, but even though I would love for it to, read in line with, where I am in terms of my career, but I have definitely laid the foundation to where I want to be financially and career-wise. And so I need to be able to celebrate that moment. I need to be in that moment and be like, yes, I've done something. I'm happy with where I am right now. And I want to achieve more. I want to get more. But in the past 10 years, what have I done? What have I been doing? How have I been positioning myself even for that place that I want to be? And remember, I said that the theme of this event was intentional living. So yes, you need to be intentional. I mean, that word is something that now speaks to me every time. I've got to be intentional. I want to be this. What am I doing to ensure that I'm in this? Where am I going? What event am I attending? Who am I speaking to? Who am I surrounding myself with? Which is another thing that a lot of these women were very particular about, the quality of people in their lives. If this person is toxic for you or this person is not right for you, you've got to press Control Alt Delete. I don't know if that's the correct thing, but delete. You get what I'm saying? You need to surround yourself with people that build you up, not people that are tearing you down. And that cuts across, whether it's in your marriage or in other personal relationships or even at work. You have got to ensure that you are surrounding yourself with quality people. Who is inspiring you? Who are you listening to? Who is feeding your life part-time in terms of the things that they say, right? I know that a lot of times some people say, oh my God, I'm not going through these problems. I don't know who to talk to about it. And I don't know if I tell this person about this problem now, then this person is going to go and tell this person and tell that person. You need to ensure that you as a person, I know you want that. You definitely want to be able to confide in someone. But in the same vein, I know we all want that, but we also have to ensure that we also are that. So you want to make sure that you're making yourself that person that people can come to with their stories, with their struggles, with their happiness, with their joy, with their success, and not be afraid of what you would do with the information that you have given to them. They need to be able to trust that if they are vulnerable with you, whatever they've said to you is going to remain with you because they've shared that with you in confidence. I know that there are times when my friends or some people have shared with me that they are pregnant or they've just gotten engaged or something. Before I go blabbing about it, I'm asking, are you okay with me sharing? Are you okay with me putting it out on social media and congratulating you because I'm super excited or something? You need to get consent before you are putting out somebody's story out there in the world. Another thing that resonated with me is the importance of not allowing your mistakes define your present and then eventually now spiral into your future. So something has gone wrong, you've done something terrible or something not so terrible, but you shall made a mistake. And then you are there sulking and dwelling on it and letting yourself to stay stuck when you should be figuring out what went wrong and picking the lessons from it to ensure that you don't make that same mistake again today and it doesn't spiral into the future. So these women are sharing things that they have done wrong. And I like the way they were owning it. Like, these are the mistake that I made and I wish I did not do things this way. But you know what? That era is gone. We're here now. And this is what I'm doing right now to ensure that the future is different, not just for me, but also for even my children. That for me was mind blowing. So I'll give you an instance of myself. Financially, I was not very intentional about building wealth. So I didn't even used to do investments. But for me, what I was doing majorly was savings and savings in the bank. I've spoken about it already. I'm not going to overbeat it. I'm not going to flog it. Check the link in the description box and you can read it. You can watch that particular video. I have another video that is coming up to try and conclude that series that I started on financial freedom. That's why you need to subscribe to this channel, because when these things drop, you want to be able to get that notification that I've dropped a new video. So click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and let's keep in touch and let's stay in touch, because you may not be following me on Instagram, or the way the algorithm is working, you probably will not know when I've dropped a new video. So you really want to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. So financially, I was intentional about building wealth, and I just got, I've been working, like I said, I've been working for 10 years now. Irrespective of what my pay was over the years or is right now, I'm thinking I should have been able to save, even if it was 500 naira every day, and I should have been able to put some of that money into some kind of investment that would have yielded me a lot more money. But so what? I didn't do it before 2019. So what if I'm just getting a hang of it right now? So what if my bank account is not really in line with what I think it should be? What's important is how am I trying to make sure that I get to where I want it to be? That's what's important. And that's the lesson there. So I'm not going to be dwelling on the mistakes that I made or how I spent money in the past. I remember one time I shared one of the greatest things that happened to me during the pandemic was discovering stick-on nails. I would spend a lot of money before on my nails, and then I discovered stick-on nails, and right now, these nails right now, I fix them myself. It cost me a lot less than I would usually spend on getting the person who comes to fix my nails. Yes, I splurge once in a while, but I'm saying right now, I've learned. I've never really been a spendthrift, right? But I'm more intentional right now about ensuring that I close those holes that may be sinking my funds, or that may be taking away the money that I should be investing and trying to use to build wealth. So what am I saying? Don't try to, there are different things, there are different ways you can apply it, but generally don't dwell on your mistakes, because then dwelling on it will just leave you stuck at where you are, and there's an amazing present and there's an even more amazing future ahead of you that you want to take advantage of. Okay, in the same vein, it's never too late to start. Whatever time that you wake up is your morning. I think it was Chinua Achebe that said it. I don't know who said it anymore. I don't want to be quoting people wrongly, but whatever time that you wake up is your morning. And I remember years ago when I was working in Genevieve magazine, that's something that Mrs. Suraba used to say a lot. She'd be like, when you wake up is your morning, and that's your dawn. That's when you blossom. So it's never too late to start, no matter what it is. If you want, no matter what it is that you want to learn, no matter what it is that you want to get ahead of, it is never too late. Putting it off and then telling yourself that, look, I can't do this anymore because I think I'm past the age, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing a lot of people within your generation a disservice. So if you know that you're passionate about something and you really want to do something, figure out how you can get involved. And one thing you should even be doing is saying, oh, but somebody else is already doing it. Now, somebody else is already doing it, but what's that person's reach? You have a network of people as well that you can reach doing that same thing that that person is doing. So one thing can happen. You can either team up with that person to get ahead and make sure that you're reaching more people, or you can start in your own space and try to reach a new set of people. So please, please, and please, it's never too late to start. There are things that I definitely want to start. I'm even too young to be thinking about lateness. Too young. And speaking about lateness, I think the most mind-blowing information that I heard was a lady who had her first child at 50, and at 52 she had a set of twins. Guys, how many years have you been married and unable to have a child, and you are beating yourself up? Why does the society feel the need to put undue pressure on women when they're struggling with having a child, or they're dealing with infertility, and in some cases it's not even their fault? Guys, why? Why do we live in a society that does that? But you know what? There is a God that can do all things even when you are 70. I think for me, it's the fact that the stories or the miracles that happen in the Bible are happening today in our time. And sometimes we are not seeing it. So those miracles that you see that happen in the Bible that feels like fiction for some people, or feels like, oh, another fairy tale, is not. It's a way to actually push our faith, to actually propel our faith, because God is still doing the same thing even today. I don't even want to get myself into preaching a sermon right now, but please, God is just so important. These women were talking about how God was so important, or is so important in everything that they do. I know that sometimes we raise our noses up when someone starts a statement and it's like, God did this, God did that. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't want to tell me your story, or maybe you don't want to tell me the secret, but it is true. They even cannot fathom how they're able to achieve that thing that they achieved, because some other person is probably putting in the same work that they are trying to put. So it could only have been God, it could have only have been Him who propelled them to where they are. So you cannot in any way play down the importance of God in your life, the need to invest in prayer. Look, when I was listening to these women and hear them speak of how they start their day talking to God, or how they find time to actually commune with God, of how they're intentional about their spiritual and prayer life, you cannot play down the God factor. You cannot play down the place of God. I'm not even trying to be a pastoress right now, but you just cannot play down the place of God. I'm going to round up this conversation by saying this, and that's something that actually played out at the event. Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone has an opinion, rather, let me say, everyone has an opinion that we may not all necessarily agree with. But it's really important to allow people air their opinion and not necessarily shut them down, and not also necessarily agree with them, but respect their opinion. And so we should be able to disagree in love. So if for instance you are like, oh, I don't like it when people say they are strong women, why are you overemphasizing the word strong? It could mean something else to someone else. It could mean something else to someone else. And I don't necessarily think that you should take complete offense that XYZ person said XYZ thing. No doubt there are statements that people make and you're looking at them like, why would you make such a statement? It's just common sense not to actually use those kind of words, or to say or air such kind of opinion. And sometimes it even just makes you question the person, like, how on earth are you thinking this? How on earth are you having such an opinion? Friends, it's okay. If that person's opinion is not something that you completely agree with, just keep it moving. You can, of course, share your own opinion. If it's something that's going to affect you, you can, of course, try to counter it. but let's not live in a state where we're continually trying to be toxic or engage in arguments that eventually just spirals into something else. And I think this is particularly important because of the age of social media, where everyone wants to feel like they're throwing bans, but sometimes these bans end up being really serious and affecting people and their lives. So we've got to pay super attention to how we communicate and how we accept what people say and how we react rather to what people say. Sometimes there are things I see on Instagram and I just want to be like, what the hell? But I hold myself back. Even sometimes I type and I literally just clean and keep it moving. And sometimes I've had to mute certain accounts. Sometimes I've had to unfollow people. It's nothing personal. It's just I'm not feeling what you're continually saying. So if I feel like it's no longer beneficial to my life, I'm going to unfollow you. But right now there's the mute button. So instead of trying to unfollow and then follow or give the vibe that maybe we're quarreling or anything, I'm just going to mute you. And guess what? Sometimes when I mute people, I even still go and look for them because they're my friends, or I feel like this person adds value to me in one way or the other. But just that piece of information you are sharing at that point in time is not something that I agree with, and I don't want it to trigger me in any way. So I'll mute you. So when I go and look for you and it feels like things have normalized in your end, I'll mute you. And we're back to enjoying each other's content. So that's pretty much what I can take for this video. I don't want to keep going on and on. I hope that you enjoyed listening to me speak. I hope that something has spoken to you from everything that I said. Like I said, I didn't want to make this like a lesson thing. If you want to see it as a lesson thing, there's a link in the description box, which was an article that was posted on the Genevieve magazine website. So you can check that out. And of course, you should check that out because then you can see pictures of the event and see some of the people that attended the event as well. But for me, this was just like a personal experience that I had at the event, and I wanted you to hear about it. I was also happy to learn from other young people who were there. I was also happy to see how they celebrated some other young people that were there. So there was a lady who sat really close to me, Banket Kuku. She has a fashion design house, and some of the women in that space were actually wearing her designs. So yeah, it was just really a space to support, to show love, to share, to be vulnerable, to feel safe, to have fun. And the highlight of it all when we're leaving, we're given frames. I'm going to try to insert a picture of it here. The pictures were taken by Mr. Kola Oshalisi. Kola, one of my favorite all-time favorite Nigerian photographers. He's badass and good at what he does. So he took the pictures, and on the spot they were creating frames for every woman who attended the event, and I was lucky. I got one. So I'll insert a picture again, like I said, for you, and you can see what the frame looks like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If I keep talking, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel. So I hope that you learned something and you have an insight into what this event was about. Honestly, what I've said to you is not enough to explain or express how I felt having attended that event. You need to be in that space and get the experience for yourself. So if it's something that you think that you are interested in attending, just drop a message in the comment section. I'll do some screenshots. You never know, you may get an invite to the very next one. I'll probably do some screenshots and send to the organizers and be like, hey, please, can I get like a +1 or +2? And just one amazing person on this channel can follow me for the next event if I'm going to be invited. Or even if I'm not invited, you can just go by yourself if you get an invite and just experience that space with other women. It was amazing. It was really amazing. Did I even mention how they sometimes even some of them talked about the pressure that they feel even in the space of their career. So a weight loss expert was talking about how sometimes she's under that pressure, you know, to make sure that she continues to maintain her weight, because people are going to be like, coach, how come, how did you add up? She's human and she can falter, you know. Doesn't mean that she's less successful at what she does. Doesn't mean that she doesn't know what she's doing, right? It's just like we in the communications world, we can run a campaign and it goes wrong. Does not mean that we're terrible at what we do. I recently applied for something and then I got a response and they denied, basically I didn't get to the next stage. But I reached out to the person who was in charge of the recruitment and I'm like, tell me what it is that went wrong or what it is that I didn't do right. And for me, it's just to help me in terms of my career development. But I'm not going to feel like a failure or feel like I'm not good at what I do. I am. There's probably someone who is better suited for that role or better suited for what it is that they want. So keep pushing, keep striving, keep doing what it is that you do. Know that success is yours. You can be successful at whatever it is that you put your mind to. Be very intentional about pursuing your passion. Be intentional about the things that you want to achieve and get in life. And I'll see you guys in my very next video.